VA disability might reduce your home loan costs. Hey, I am Chuck the Bureaucrat, and this is a very short video that could save you thousands of dollars. In an earlier video, I introduced the VA Home Loan Purchase Program, and I talked about some of the pros and the cons. One of the aspects of a VA loan is that while you don't necessarily have to make a down payment, you may be required to pay something called a funding fee. Funding fee is a one-time payment that the veteran or the qualifying survivor pays to the VA as part of the loan. And remember, these VA loans are backed by the government. That means that the VA promises to take on the responsibility of the loan if the veteran defaults. Of course, there are going to be some veterans who default, so that's going to create costs for the program. So the idea of the funding fee is that it helps protect U.S. taxpayers from having to foot the bill for this program. And that funding fee can get pretty expensive. Depending on what percentage of the purchase price you put down, whether you've used a VA home loan before and the exact type of loan, that funding fee can get as high as 3.3% of the purchase price. What with the average home in the U.S. selling at like $500,000, that means the funding fee can easily top $16,000. That's quite a chunk of change, and it would be nice if you could avoid paying it. Well, under certain circumstances, you don't have to pay the funding fee. These circumstances include when you're receiving VA compensation for a service-connected disability, you're eligible to receive VA compensation for a disability, but you're receiving retirement or active duty pay instead, you're a surviving spouse receiving dependency and indemnity compensation, you're a service member who gets a memorandum stating that you're eligible to get compensation because of a pre-discharge claim before the loan closing date, or you're an active duty service member who has received the Purple Heart. Now, the thing that had me ransacking my personal safe was the fact that if you are incorrectly charged a funding fee, you can request a refund. In essence, you might be eligible for a refund of your VA funding fee if you were awarded VA disability compensation and that compensation is retroactive to a date before your loan closing date. Bad luck for Chuck. I closed on my loan back in 2020, about 3 years before I got my VA rating. So they get to keep $1,500 of my money, but it might have important implications for you. In an earlier video, I made the point that although DoD gives you time during your transition to go house hunting, that it might be difficult to actually purchase a house as opposed to signing a lease in your last 180 days. When it comes down to it, if you are going to be buying a house, you're probably going to do it either months before you transition or months after you transition. And this rule about the VA funding fee suggests that there might be benefits to waiting to close on your loan until after you've gotten a determination about your VA disability. I don't know. I mean, frankly, the idea of waiting to buy a property until you've retired from the military, it seems to come with a couple of its own problems. And if you want to see what I mean, watch this video.